Women are being attacked each and every day around the world. Today.
Emotional abuse can beat you like a fist, but leave no visible marks for the world to see. One very noticeable sign is he putting you down alone or in public? Is he intentionally embarrassing you by making you feel small or ashamed or even worthless? That's emotional abuse. Family and friends see it, even if you don't. So ask them what they see. Another thing to consider is, does he control your life, like your finances, your comings and goings, your time with friends and family? Ladies, like it or not, that crap is emotional abuse, and it doesn't go away on its own. It always gets worse unless you put an end to it early. Sometimes, like it or not, that means dump his ass to save your ass. Another emotional abuse is he always is right, even when you show he's not. It becomes an argument or fight. Any and all relationship problems are caused by you. This one is a major issue. Does having a male friend, even a casual one at work, cause a fight? Worst of all, does he get angry if another man notices you in passing, even your brother or cousin? This is emotional abuse that potentially goes from annoying to dangerous. Another abuse is neglect. He's locked into a video game or on his computer and doesn't respond even when you ask a direct question. Is there sudden sexual neglect? Without notice, sexual attention towards you seems to be refocused on other things, even if you initiate things. Do you recognize this one? I know what's best for you. Big and little things that you decide are voted by him. You never know what's best. It can be major things like career, education, or something as seemingly minor like what you're wearing, or the scent you wear, or hairstyle, or Big Mac over a quarter pounder. Those small things add up and can be major signs of bigger problems to come. Listen to the true stories from abuse victims and how they dealt with it. I'll catch you on the next video with another issue for women.
Hi there, I'm Annie, and I'd like to ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest regret all abused women have when they finally get free of their emotionally abusive relationship? The answer may not be quite what you think. It's not that they've given up on a man who had so much potential. It's not that they could have tried harder. It's not that they failed. It's not that they should have given it one more shot. It's not that they should have been nicer and more loving. It's not even that they've lost the most wonderful man, the love of their life, because trust me, they haven't. The real regret that abused women have is that they stayed so long, that they put up for so long with such appalling treatment. If you were to bang your head against a brick wall physically, you wouldn't do it for very long. It would hurt a lot, and you'd realise that there was nothing to be gained because a brick wall is a brick wall is a brick wall. But when it comes to emotional pain, something quite different happens. What is it about abused women that we're prepared to put up with so much emotional pain for so long? Either we say to ourselves, oh, it doesn't really hurt that much. It doesn't hurt when I'm not actually banging it against the wall. Or perhaps we say to ourselves, well, yeah, actually it hurts a lot, but I've got a tough head. I can take it. What on earth is the point of that? Let me tell you something about your abusive partner. If he can watch you hurting and not care and not do whatever he can to stop you hurting, he does not care about you enough, and there is no mileage in the relationship. If he looks at you hurting and doesn't care, or says you're too sensitive, or it's your fault because you did this, that or the other, or deal with it because I don't want to know about your pain, your relationship is effectively over. There is nothing good that will come of that relationship. So the only problem is how you get yourself to the point of saying, I accept the reality as it is. I accept that I have to let go of this relationship because until I do, the misery will continue. And when you let go of that relationship, that is when your life starts anew. A much, much better life than you've had up till now.
Today we're talking about emotional and physical abuse. These topics are hard to hear about, and they're hard to talk about. They may be hard for you to hear for a various number of reasons, and they may be triggers for you, or you may be in a relationship right now, but here's what we want to do. We're talking about it. We're not shying away from it. And we're going to show you through these women's stories what it is. Because we know that 1 in 4 women have been in an abusive situation or relationship. There's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, sexual abuse, and stalking. Because I feel like when we say abuse, people automatically associate that with physical abuse. And we're here to tell you today that that is just not true. These women are brave, and they're telling their stories, and we took very good care in telling their stories.
I would say verbal and emotional abuse. And, it dawned on me that folks are so knowledgeable about sexual abuse and physical abuse, and the signs are so visible with physical abuse. You could come in with a black eye, or you see someone that's bruised up, or that there's a sign that's visible to the naked eye that knows something's wrong. But when it comes down to emotional abuse and verbal abuse, the signs are not typically visible. Typically, the person will come in, look good, carry on with their day as usual, but you would never know that they're going through verbal and emotional abuse. And in my opinion, it's just as horrific as physical or sexual abuse, any type of abuse. When a person is being abused verbally, they're usually being criticized and put down, and the person that is abusing them usually opposes everything that they think. And I'm not saying it happens 100% of the time, but it's the majority of the time. Something as simple as just asking a question like, honey, are we going to go to the event with Susie and John next week? And the response could be something to the effect of, what are you asking me about next week for? I don't know anything about next week. Why are you even asking about that? I mean, that's so crazy. Don't you have something to do? Like, why are you so preoccupied with what's going on next week? And I mean, it will go on and on and on. That's what I mean about you. You always want to pressure things. I mean, I got stuff going on, but yet you want to ask me about next. Mind you, it's a simple, normal question. However, by the time that person finishes wearing you down and tearing you down, you really will ask yourself, oh my goodness, why did I even ask that question? You know what, you're right, I should have waited. And they win you over, and that's how it begins. Maybe not with that example, but I'm just giving you an idea of how, in my opinion, it begins. And I'm not a therapist, and I am by no means giving anyone, advice as far as professional advice. I'm just giving you advice from my own life and what I've experienced and what I've known people to experience. When folks are verbally abusing you, they usually want you to always think the way they think. They want your opinion to always be in sync with their opinion. Typically, they don't want you to have an opinion of your own. And if you do, they will oppose it. And you basically have to blend into their lives and become one with them in order for them to think of you, or to agree with you, or to even get along with you. When I say think of you, I mean to think of you in a positive manner, or to agree with you on any subject. You have to basically just blend your life into theirs and become them. You cannot have a mind of your own. Sorry guys, I got this hair bothering me. You cannot have a mind of your own. You cannot think for yourself. You cannot have an opinion of your own, because that is not accepted. It is not even it's not acceptable at all.
You don't have to be a victim. Self-defense is about ending a violent attack against your person. Self-defense is not about sparring and exchanging blows with another person. You see, the best self-defense of all is to not put yourself in harm's way. The second best self-defense technique is to run. If neither of these options are available, you must know how to defend yourself to save your life. There's tons and tons of information out there regarding self-defense for women and how to make sure that no one gets the upper hand when trying to overcome you. In fact, having all of that information literally at your fingertips can be confusing. The truth is, there really is not one right way to defend yourself. The decision is a personal one and definitely depends on the situation. Don't be fooled. There are many opportunities out there for attacks. These include rape, carjacking, purse snatching, domestic violence, home invasion, being followed by an unmarked police car, walking along the street, workplace violence, and more. That's what's so disturbing about this predicament. Violence can happen anywhere, at any time. This includes at home, at work, at the grocery store, in schools, in the park, a shopping trip, in church, or on the front or backyard porch. No one is truly and completely safe all the time, anywhere, including at home. Survival rule number 1, and the most important rule: stay aware and always be ready. Pay more attention to your surroundings and less attention to your smartphones and tablets. Anyone can become a victim unless you choose not to be. Try to avoid danger. Try to run for safety. And if those two things aren't possible, be ready to fight to live. You only have one rule: survive. And if that means great bodily harm or worse to your attacker, too damn bad. You must become more vicious than your attacker. We call it CM2SYA, or countermeasures to save your ass. Survival dictates it is not your job to be nice. So don't worry about how much harm you cause. Just make sure the harm isn't to you.